welcome guys also to the next presentation. I'm very happy that I'm able to talk about 3D visualization and xeokit and xeoVision. There have been some updates since last year when we were presenting for the first time. And but before going into the topic, just a couple of words. Why are we here? Who are we? So we at Creoox, we are all about digitalization in the AEC. We are half civil engineers, structural engineers, and half computer science guys. And we truly believe in really this open BIM, open standards, collaborating between each other and providing the necessary technology to realize these concepts. And this fits actually just perfectly with the idea also of the AEC Hackathon. We went here, we came here last year and we were so excited and said, okay, this is the event for us. It really speaks to our core values and especially also open source. So because it's not just about the code, it's about transparency, because when you're open and transparent, this promotes trust, and trust is very important when you try to build something. It's also a matter of security, of course, because when you trust something, you feel also more secure. It creates this safe space to move on. Not being afraid to fail, so experiment, learn, and have fun. So it's really, all these emotions are very, very powerful. And that's why we are here. And what are the issues, the challenges that we are trying to tackle? So I'm gonna narrow this. Of course, when we are talking about challenges in front of the digitalization of AEC, there are plenty, but I would narrow it down to the visualization of 3D and talking about single source of truth and versioning. We are, I think, all departed from the desktop applications, so we need to visualize these models in web, in the browser. And we have large models, we have complex models with lots and lots of data, and how to do it, how to handle. There are plenty of limitations that need to be overcome. And this is something that should actually be a standard solution, because having, bluntly said, a BIM viewer in your platform, this shouldn't be like the main thing that you're doing. There should be something available so that you can really build on top of it, use it, and focus on the core added value that you want to actually develop on top of it. So getting quicker there. And what happens with the data? This is the question that we are asking ourselves more and more. So when I upload something, when I call a service, what happens? Does it go to the US or some other countries? Yeah. And of course, not just what happens, where the data goes, but what data do we lose? So data loss between all these processes, it's also a very common thing. And there's no solution that fits all needs, so customization has to be there as well. And we see the solution in open source, and not just open source, but really sustainable open source projects. So projects that are backed up by a company, so that you're really also confident that this solution will be there also in 5-10 years, that it will be developed further, that it's supported, that it has a community behind. So this is kind of the main aspect here. And just to give you a glance of our main open source project, xeokit SDK, and what it can do. The small objects here, each one of them is actually a hospital model. and it's been copied over 2,000 times in the browser, rendered interactively with 8.5 million objects, 2.5 billion triangles. So there are lots of stuff that you can do nowadays. It's quite powerful. Yeah, we are at an open source hackathon, so I guess no need to elaborate too much on the benefits of being open source. But yeah, as I said, trust, security, independence, and collaboration. Just getting faster to where you want to go, and making everything much more available to everyone. And we saw this also earlier, just no need to reinvent the wheel. So if we want to build a car, it's much easier just to take some wheels that are already there. Otherwise, it will take a while. Yeah, we are supporting also some other open source projects. We saw .bim, for example, earlier. IFC OpenShell, IFC++. I saw IFC++ yesterday also in the presentation. I think it was used in a different context, but actually it's a project. It comes from C++ and IFC. And yeah, FreeCAD, also proud member of Bauen Digital and Building Smart Switzerland. Gianluca will talk about it just after me. And Swiss PropTech. So what you can expect from xeokit, it's WebGL-based solution. So it's not 3JS, it's really pure WebGL-based, GPU accelerated accordingly. JavaScript, it is built for performance, and not just performance, but also precision. You can handle all these large, complex models with double precision and real-world coordinates, so you don't lose this kind of information. Multiple formats, multiple models, federated, so when you place them together, they will fit. And of course, all the bunch of examples of these everyday features that are typical for our industry, because it is meant for the AEC. Yeah, slicing, measuring, and so on and so forth. So some examples I've mentioned already. Double precision, what are some of the effects if someone doesn't support double precision? You can see on the left side this jittering effect. So here in Switzerland also we have these large coordinates, real-world coordinates, so geo-referenced models. If you don't, like GPUs, actually the graphic card supports only single precision. So somehow you have to circumvent this, because otherwise it cuts the digits after the decimal point, and then the windows and the doors, they don't fit perfectly to each other, and you have all these nasty effects going on. So yeah, there are not so many solutions out there that can deal with that. Okay, here another example. This was also very interesting for me to see a couple of years back. It's an old one. This is the city of Lyon, rendered from 7 different models. And then you just display it in the browser. You do your stuff there with measuring, so on. So it was kind of a mind-blowing, like 5 years ago, to do this in the browser, how things develop. And then going to some more recent examples, here we have from last year 3D zones. So not just viewing data, but also adding data, giving the user possibility to add these 3D zones with labels, different colors, heights, and so on. Add more information to the model, also extract, so get maybe volumes, surface area, and so on. Yeah, quite a nice feature. And another nice feature, which was actually always available, but it's a matter of making it really accessible and convenient also. An example with a 2D overlay. So you can basically go to this example and copy paste and it will work. Also in your project, you just pick 2 points of the floor plan and overlay it on the 3D model. And then we went also one step further and we said, okay, everything what we've seen so far is still an SDK, it's software development kit, so it's for software developers mainly. And what about the end users that are not software developers? And then we thought, okay, we can give back to the community also by providing a freemium application without any login. You just go to xeoVision and then you can view your models, you can test, play around with some of the features, multiple formats, multiple models, the same double precision and real-world coordinates. And you can share with everyone, just one click. And the cool thing is that in the backend, it's powered also by Xeo services. And we see also, for example, IFC Model Checker is a project by Louis here from Open Source Construction. I think it started also last year at the hackathon. So we went and built just this web service based on that. As well as IDS validation by Building Smart. So all these conversion and validation services can be used also as a very quick start, but they can also be hosted on everyone's infrastructure so that you're really fully independent. And yeah, if you're interested, if there are hackers that would like to play around, you can let me know about the web APIs to give you a token. Otherwise, xeo.vision works also on mobile, of course, so you can check it out. And to give you maybe here also a glance of a bit of a hidden feature, but could be useful for the hackathon. As an end user, you can get the IFC metadata split from the geometry in a JSON file or a SQLite database file, just like that. Yeah, so at the end, very short summary. Let's work together, be open, try out things, learn, and build on top of existing solutions. Don't reinvent the wheel. And of course also combine different perspectives. And keep in touch. Thank you very much.